DigitalOcean. We now have a library of structured workflow guides that your AI coding assistant, whether Claude Code, GitHub Copilot, Cursor, or similar, can read to configure app platform for you. The App Platform Skills Library is a collection of 11 Markdown files, each covering a specific area of app platform setup and usage. Point your assistant at the relevant skill, and it handles the configuration, spec files, secrets, and wiring. No registration, no setup. Share a URL, and your assistant gets to work. Explore the Skills Library. What the Skills Library covers. The Skills Library spans the full development life cycle. Here's what's included. Development sets up a GitHub Actions CI/CD pipeline using DigitalOcean /AppAction/deploy at v2. It covers 6 workflow patterns: single environment, staging, and production. Production approval gates, pull request previews, multi-environment unified workflows, and rollback. Secrets from your input into GitHub Secrets and then into App Platform, so your AI assistant never sees the values directly. Networking handles custom domains with DNS and TLS auto-provisioned through Let's Encrypt. Path-based and subdomain routing via ingress rules, CORS policies, VPC connectivity for secure database access, and static egress IPs for firewall allow listing. 5 complete architecture patterns are included, so your assistant can make opinionated configuration decisions without you having to reason through each option. Managed Database Services connects your App Platform app to DigitalOcean managed databases across 6 engines: PostgreSQL, MySQL, MongoDB, Valkey Redis, Kafka, and OpenSearch. The skill configures bindable variables that inject credentials securely, sets up trusted sources to control network access, and handles the connection patterns specific to each engine. PostgreSQL is a dedicated skill for managed PostgreSQL with 2 paths: bindable variables, recommended for most apps where DigitalOcean manages credentials automatically, and schema isolation, designed for multi-tenant software as a service applications. Includes ORM templates for Prisma, SQL Alchemy, and Drizzle, plus migration tooling and scripts for schema creation and permission auditing. Spaces configures DigitalOcean Spaces object storage for your app. The skill handles credentials, CORS for browser-based uploads, pre-signed URLs for time-limited object access, CDN setup for static asset delivery, and local development with MinIO to mirror your production spaces environment. Uses the AWS S3 SDK for compatibility across Node.js, Python, and Go. AI Services adds AI capabilities to your platform app using DigitalOcean's Gradient AI platform. It configures serverless inference for direct LLM API calls and the Agent Development Kit, ADK, for building AI agents with credentials stored through GitHub Secrets. Uses OpenAI SDK compatibility for straightforward integration with existing code, migration analyzes your current configuration and maps services, databases, and dependencies to their app platform equivalents. Supported sources include Heroku, Docker Compose, Render, Railway, and Fly.io, with partial support for AWS ECS and AWS App Runner. Output includes a generated do app YAML, a migration checklist, and refactored code in a dedicated migration branch. Troubleshooting gives you live shell access to running containers via the Do App Sandbox SDK, log and analysis for common failure patterns, including 502 errors, out-of-memory conditions, and connection issues, plus debug container deployment for infrastructure validation. It integrates with the deployment, PostgreSQL, and networking skills to cover the full debugging surface. The library also includes 3 lighter weight skills. Designer generates Do App YAML spec files from natural language descriptions of your application. Dev Containers sets up local development environments that mirror your app platform production configuration. Planner produces structured project plans across the full development lifecycle when you're breaking down a multi-service build before writing any code. See what your AI assistant can do with this. DigitalOcean.